So now we are starting today our second class, and this class will start discussion on the different chapters of Pragyapana Sutra, and especially for today we have taken two first chapters. The first chapter is known as Pragyapana itself, though the whole text has been given the same name, that is Pragyapana. And what does it mean? It means descriptions or explanations or interpretations, or you can say to say something in detail about something. So that is the meaning of the particular term Pragyapana. Now we would see that in the very first chapter, Acharya Shyam, whose name is very famous for description of very subtle living beings, which are known as Nigod in Jain tradition. So Acharya Shyam, who it is said that his time was almost 3rd century BC. He came after 335 years after the liberation of Bhagwan Mahavir, Tirthankar Mahavir, who was the 24th Tirthankar of Jain tradition. So his time is of almost the 3rd century BC. It means before Christ, 300 years before Christ, he was born, and he wrote this particular, he has written this particular scripture, which is known as Pragyapana. And he was very, very learned as a scholar saint of Jain tradition. And he wrote this text with 36 chapters, and each chapter is dealing with particular topic, particular principle, or particular practice of Jain tradition. So almost whatever we are discussing today, all those principles and practices are discussed in this particular text with a very profound study. So today we would see that this is the first chapter which we are taking today for our discussion. Half an hour I will discuss on this particular chapter. After you would have 10 to 15 minutes for this for question answer. Then we will take next chapter, that is the second chapter, and then you would have again 10 to 15 minutes for question answer. So today we are discussing that in the Pragyapana Sutra, first Shyamacharya pay his deep sense of respect to the liberated souls, and then he say that I will speak, or I will explain all those principles and practices which have been taught, especially in the 12th scripture, which is named as Drishtivada. So might be you have gone through my lecture, which was given in the last week in our first class, and I have also posted my PPT in which you could see that Drishtivad is a very, very voluminous scripture or sacred text, and it is a 12th one. All the other scriptures have been taken out from that scripture. So you can say how much voluminous that text was, but at present it is not available. Whatever portion, little bit portion was known in Digambar tradition, and on the basis of that, they have written down Shatkhandagam and Kashaya Pahud, which have been given so much importance in that tradition as like the scriptures. So you could see that in the 12th scripture, whatever was discussed has been taken out and explained very well in this particular scripture, which is known as Pragyapana. So in this first chapter, which is also given the same name, Pragyapana, and in this particular text, it is said that in this world, there are two basic fundamental realities. Okay, so what are those basic fundamental realities? One is living and other one is non-living. And it is very scientific in the sense that it is said that every reality is having its own opposite. From logical point of view also, and from scientific point of view also, that there is binary. Everything is in binary. We don't find anything single or unitary without its opposite in this particular world. So this is the very first opinion of Jainism also, that everything is existing in binary. It has its own opposite, and that's why the world is going on with the support of the two basic opposite realities. They must be opposite also, but it doesn't mean that they are contradictory or cancelling of each other. They are supplementary to each other in some sense. So in that way, we can say that Jainism believes that there are two basic fundamental realities in the world, and the whole cosmic process or phenomena, they are coming out of the interaction of these two basic realities. So that you can see here, I have given one quotation from Sthanang Sutra, which is you can say fourth scripture. So in this particular scripture, it says whatever is in the universe is with its opposite, antithesis or binary. The existence of a substance without its counterpart cannot be supported logically. So logic also doesn't accept that there is only one basic element and out of that everything is coming out. So in that sense, we can say that Jainism is a dualistic tradition, dualistic philosophy. It believes that this world is having two basic entities. Now we would say that what is living and what is non-living. What is the difference between these two? So here it is said, Jivanti pranan dharayanti iti jiva. Living beings are those who are living on the basis of, with the support of the vital energies, different type of vital energies. And it is having consciousness. It is having feeling of pain and pleasure. While the non-living elements are devoid of all these living qualities. What the non-living elements are, then it is said that they are not having this kind of vitalities, consciousness, or cognitive behavior. Though at this time we are perceiving that there are so many devices of artificial intelligence. In the houses, we are perceiving that there is a Alexa, and they are saying everything to Alexa, and Alexa is what we say doing that kind of things. But yes, these devices can help you because you have programmed those things. Until and unless there is some living entity or human consciousness, these devices cannot come into existence and play their role. So they are, after all, non-living. They are artificial. They are not real. So the real consciousness is only found in the living entities and not in non-living or material entities. So non-living entities are devoid of consciousness, original consciousness or vital powers or cognitive behavior. But yes, they have also some particular qualities which we will discuss eventually when we will go into detail. Now we are coming that according to Pragyapana Sutra, this first chapter, it is said that since the non-living elements are limited in comparison to non-living entities, which are of various types. So we are taking first non-living elements. What are those non-living elements? What are the basic properties of those non-living entities? And then we will come to living entities. So yes, so here we can see that non-living entities are divided into two categories. One is called a Rupi and other one is called a Arupi. So Rupi means physical and Arupi means non-physical. Again, you would see that Jains have given this term non-living in a very, very wider sense. In the sense that it is not only the material objects which come under the category of non-living, but there are certain elements or basic entities or cosmic entities or phenomena which are devoid of consciousness and also physical qualities. And that's why they come under non-physical, non-living elements. So in any other traditions of the world, you will not find this kind of concept of non-physical, non-living elements. They always talk about physical elements, which are devoid of consciousness, but they are not aware of these non-physical elements, which are not only non-physical, but they are also devoid of physical qualities, material qualities. So what are those such kind of elements? One is dharma, second is adharma, third is akash, and fourth is kala. So dharma means, here dharma doesn't mean religion, which we are practicing in our day-to-day life. The term in ancient time has been explained in various different meanings depending on the context. So dharma term here doesn't mean religion, but it means medium of motion, which is supporting all the physical and living entities to move from one place to another. And it is non-physical, that's why it is not detectable through any scientific method or instruments or even the senses. Adharma also doesn't mean that something unreligious or unethical, but it means the medium of rest. Whenever we are moving and we want to stay at some place, or we want to stop our movements, then we take the support of this adharma element, which is supporting us to take rest. The third is a space, which is giving accommodation or space to all living and non-living entities which are found in the universe. So space is very, very big, and you can say biggest element of the universe. And it is also non-physical. It has no physical qualities. Time is supporting to change every element. So that's why we find that everything is changing at every moment. So it is the time which is supporting to change in every moment. So this is also considered as non-physical element, because it is not perceptible in the sense, though we are keeping some watches or clocks, whatever these timers, but they are just set by us to know the time according to our own understanding. But these devices are not time, they are showing time which we have set according to our need, but time is also non-physical in one sense. Now I would say that again these all non-physical elements have been divided into three parts, or you can say three ways, since we know that all elements have their own extension in space. So we are not able to see the whole element as a whole. And that condition, whatever we are perceiving or we are coming in the contact of that particular element in whatever way, we must be clear that what we are perceiving actually. So we can see that if we are talking about these basic elements, whether it is dharma, adharma, akashoka, they all are, you can say time is infinite in number, but so far as dharma, adharma, and space are concerned, they are unitary substances. They are unique substances. There is no other substance like that. These three, at least, elements. So you will find that dharma dravya is only one and a homogeneous entity. Similarly, adharma dravya is one and homogeneous entity. Space is also one and homogeneous entity. But space is so vast that we cannot see the whole space. Whatever space we are seeing in our everyday everyday life, that is only the part of the entire space. Whatever dharma dravya is available in our city or in our house or with us, that is also one part of entire adharma dravya. Whatever dharma dravya is supporting us, that is also the part of the entire dharma dravya. So in that sense, we can say that the whole entity is known as skandha, complete aggregate. The part, the half, more than one atom in size, that kind of part is known as desh, or mostly we are using that part. And pradesh is a kind of the part which is equivalent to the atom in size. So these elements can be, whenever we try to know the volume, total volume of these non-physical elements, then the volume is shown by measuring these pradeshas, or by counting these pradeshas of each and every element. So that's why the pradesh is very important to understand, that pradesh is the part of anything which is equivalent in size of an smallest atom, an indivisible atom. So that part is known as pradesh, but bigger than that part is known as desh, means one part consisting of 2 pradeshas, 3 pradeshas, or infinite, or more than what we say in 2 pradeshas. And the total complete entity is known as skandha. Now we would see that here there are some more further divisions have been done here. Just to, it happens here. So you can see that in Jain scriptures, all these elements have been explained in some detail, and it is said that so far as the substantial point of view, we can say that these dharma, adharma and space especially, they are just one and one only in number and no other like them. So far as the space is concerned, how much space they are taking. So dharma, adharma, especially, they are covering entire cosmic space, but they are not after or beyond the cosmic space. Their extension is confined to the cosmic space only. So far as the space is concerned, Akash is concerned, it is extended even after the beyond the cosmic space, and it also covers the supracosmos, which is up beyond this universe, the boundaries of universe. Next is time. So far as time is concerned, these all elements are eternal. They are not created by any god or any supreme power. That's why Jainism says that there is no such creator God, because these elements are eternal, they are not created, they are self-existent, and they are existing from the time immemorial. So there is no need of any creator because they are already there. So who is why we should accept any creator God? Yes, Jainism is very much into belief that there are infinite number of God whom we say Paramatma, Siddha, or liberated souls. So Jainism is very much into the concept of God in that sense, but it doesn't believe that there is any creator God there. Bhav means all these objects or all these basic entities, they are having infinite number of modes. They are changing at every moment without losing their essence, their basic fundamental qualities or natural qualities. So without losing their own essential nature, they are changing at every moment. And sometimes you will find that they don't look very different in the second moment because the changes are also going on in the similar way. So they look all the times the same. Next is guna, qualities. These all elements are having some special qualities, and that's why they are recognized as independent realities. So dharma dravya is the medium of motion. It means it is providing motion, it is supporting in our motion. Adharma dravya is supporting in our rest. Space is supporting us by providing accommodation. That's why we are in the universe. And time is supporting to change with time. So in this way, you can find here that 30 types of elements are there. So far as the Arupi, it means a non-physical, non-living elements are concerned. So 3, 3, 3, and 1. So 3, 3 means that space is of 3 types. Dharma dravya is also 3 types, and adharma dravya is also 3 types. 3 types, that doesn't mean that they are 3 or 3 of 3 categories, but they can be understood in 3 ways: as a whole object, as in part, and also in the sense of pradesh. So in this way, we find 20 such types of divisions of these non-living and non-physical elements. Now, we would see here that there are 5 such kind of 565 types of physical non-living elements. So we have seen here in the first slide that there are 5 types, 30 types, 20 types of non-physical realities. But now we would see that there is non-physical, non-living, physical and non-living elements are also there. So Rupi, now we will focus on Rupi, means the physical elements which are found in the universe. They are also they can also be understood in 4 ways. The first is skandha. Skandha means whatever matter or material energies are found in this universe, they can be considered as one element, and that is known as skandha. But we are not aware of all the matter which is visible. Only we are able to see that. But there is invisible matter also in the universe, and that is also in a huge quantity, but we are not able to see that. So whatever we are perceiving, that is only the part of the total matter. And all the pradesh means whenever we see any object, material object, and that object is having different number of atoms. So one smallest part, which is known as pradesha, or you can say equivalent atom, but it is connected, then it is known as pradesha. But when it separates, then it is known as Paramanu, that is the smallest unit of the material entities. So in this way, you can see that the physical entities, they are also understood in these 4 ways, and on the basis of their basic qualities, which are known as color, smell, taste, and touch, and also shapes. So you will find that there are 100 types of such kind of all elements are having these different colors and different what we say properties. So on the basis of that, they are considered as 565 types. So on the basis of the color, they are considered as 100 types. So there is some mathematical calculation behind it. Similarly, when they are considered from the point of view of their smell quality or property, then they are of 46 types. On the basis of their taste and their combination and permutation, you can get all these numbers. Okay. So these they are of 100 types, and on the basis of their touch quality, they are divided into 184 types, and on the basis of their 5 types of shapes. So all the material entities are in some or other shape. So their shape are also you can see the combination of those shapes, especially in Jain scriptures. So those shapes have been recognized in of 5 types. and after making combination with other quantities, you can see this 100 types of divisions. So in this way, you can say 560 types of non-living and also physical elements in total, or all the non-living elements, including the physical and non-physical. You can find this number 35 plus 530. In this way, you can find these kind of elements. Now we would come to, this is a studying, okay? Now we would come to the next element, which is living elements, because it has so many divisions and subdivisions. That's why this first chapter is taking it after the discussion of the physical elements or non-living elements, especially. So we would see that there are two types of living beings. One is called Sansar Samapan and other one is called Asansar Samapan. It means worldly living beings and liberated living beings. Those who are still in the world, in the cycle of birth and death, they are known as Sansar Samapan. Other ones who are liberated from the cycle of birth and death and who are realizing their own inner being, pure being, they are known as liberated souls. So they are devoid of physical relations, physical body, and also all types of sufferings and karmic bondages. Now we would see that who are in the worldly life, they are also of many types, but we will come to those different types later on, before we are discussing about the liberated souls. So liberated souls are also of two types. One is called Anantar and the other one is called Parampar. It means those souls who are just liberated and have not passed even one moment in the same, and the very same moment in which they are liberated is called Anantar Siddha, and the other one is those who have liberated and passed some time after liberation, they come under the second category, which is called Parampar liberated souls. So, and now we would see that those who are considered as Anantar, it means just they have liberated and just one moment has of their liberation is going on, but even the second moment has not come. So those all liberated souls are recognized of 15 types, depending on their past life from where they have liberated, or their status of the past life in which they liberated. So you would see that there are 15 types of liberated souls. One is called Tirth, other one is called Atirth, third is Tirthankar, fourth is Tirthankar, Swayambhu, Pratik Buddha, Buddha Bodhit, and other different categories. Okay, so Striling, Purushling, Napunsakling, Swaling, Anyaling, Grihasthaling, Ek Siddha or Anek Siddha, Anyaling, and also Anek Siddha. So you will see these are the 15 types of Siddhas or liberated souls. So what does it mean? So Tirtha means those souls who were sometimes in the religious congregations which have been established by Tirthankars in their times, and they have followed the rules and regulations of which prescribed by the Tirthankars, then they are known as Tirtha Siddha. A Tirtha Siddha, it means sometimes it happens that one Tirthankar and there is very long gap of time between the one Tirthankar and the second Tirthankar. So until the second Tirthankar comes, the followers of the first Tirthankar sometimes they forget whatever is taught by the first Tirthankar, and the second has not yet come. But still, they are following some kind of ethical rules and regulations, and they become liberated. So they come under Tirtha Siddha because in their time there was no such religious congregations which have been established by by some Tirthankar. So they have liberated, but they were not aware of any other Tirthankar or religious congregations in their time. Tirthankars, we know that Tirthankar are the enlightened human beings, ascetics or seers of Jain traditions who got omniscience, and also they established a religious congregation, and that's why they are known as Tirthankar, and we are following their religious congregations. And Tirthankar also liberate, and it is essential for them. Those who become Tirthankar, they necessarily liberate in the very same life. So Tirthankar liberates, so they come under the category of Tirthankar. So all the 24 Tirthankars whom we know from Rishabh to Mahavir, they were Tirthankar in their times, and now they are liberated. Tirthankars, there may be some other monks and nuns who are not Tirthankar or anybody, they can also liberate. So they come under this category, Swayambhu Siddha, Swayam Buddha. So yes, it is not Swayambhu, but it is Swayam Buddha. So it means there are certain living souls who are self-awakened and liberated. Okay, so they come under this category. Pratyek Buddha, it means there are certain souls who are awakened by some incident in their life. So as we have seen the life of Buddha, suppose he got inspiration from the sick person, from the old age person, and looking at some death. So this kind of incidents sometimes inspire us to awaken from within, and we come on the path of spirituality, follow it, and liberate it. Become liberated. So this is come Pratyek Buddha. Buddha Bodhit, it means there may be some people who come in the contact of Tirthankar or in the contact of their very close disciples, and they get inspiration and get awakened, and they liberate. Striling means there may be some ladies, women who are pursuing the path of liberation and liberate. So liberate. There it is here you can see Digambar tradition believes that women cannot liberate, but Shwetambar tradition doesn't believe like that. It says that women can also liberate. It is not liberation is not concerned with the human form of body, but it is concerned with your detachment and also rigorous pursuit of spirituality. So even women can liberate, and there are hundreds of such examples in the Jain scriptures that those women who were looking for liberation, they have done such kind of penances and come out of all the karmic bondages and liberated. So in this way, Striling is also there. Purushling means the male living beings, human beings who pursue the path of liberation and liberates. Similarly, there are some neuter gender souls, people. They are not actually neutered from by birth, but they become neutered because of some reason or some problems. So they can also liberate. Swelling, it means that the Jain monks and nuns who are following the path of spirituality and all the rules and regulations in a proper way, they can also liberate, and they are especially for that purpose. And annealing, it means that some people who are not following Jain tradition or not born in, as Jain, but they also follow the same kind of values in their life, they can also liberate. Grihasthaling, it means that the householders can also liberate. It is not necessary that all should be monks and nuns, but anybody who is living a life of household but following the same kind of values, they can also liberate. Ek Siddha, sometimes one person is liberating, and with that, no other living souls or humans are liberating. So this can be the case. For example, Lord Mahavir, when Lord Mahavir liberated, he was alone liberated in this universe. But when Lord Rishabh was liberated, with him so many other monks have liberated. So he is known as Anik Siddha. Here, by mistake, Anyalinga is written, but it is Anik Siddha. Okay. So with Lord Rishabh, it is said that 108 other monks have liberated. Okay. So he was not alone to liberate, but there were so many other monks and who were liberated with him. So he is considered as Anik Siddha. When I do this, it gets stuck. So you can see here. Now we would see here that those living beings who are living worldly life, who are in the cycle of birth and death, constantly taking birth and dying, they have also been discussed with all details. So we have completed the discussion about the Sansar Samavan Jeev. It means the liberated living beings, but there are worldly beings who are not liberated yet, but they are also in a very big number in the world, and they are categorized in two ways. One is trust and the other one is Sthavar. It means that those living beings who can move from one place to another, they come under this category. Those who cannot move from one place to another, remain stable at one place, they come under this Sthavar category. So they are known as immobile living beings. So water, fire, air, plants, and earthly bodies who are living, they cannot move from one place to another. They come under this Sthavar category. But those who can move from one place to another, they come under this thrust category. So in thrust category, we find 4 types of living beings. One is two sensed, second is 3 sensed, third is 4 sensed, and fourth one is 5 sensed. So these living beings, they are known as Dvindri, Trindri, Chaturindri, Panchendri in technical terms, but you can read just in English. And you can see here that these living beings are also in very big number. So they cannot be counted, the full number cannot be counted easily, but their counting is done on the basis of their birthplaces, where they are taking birth. So it means that the birthplaces are different, and in one birthplace, you may find different types of living beings, okay? So they all come in one category or in one family. So now we are looking here family-wise that how many living beings are there in each of the categories. So here, 2 sense living beings, it is said that they are 2 lakh, which you can say 200,000 in number. Similarly, 3 Indriya are also 200,000 in number. The 4th sense living beings, they are also in the equal number. But so far as the 5 sense living beings are concerned, they are also in bigger number. That number is shown somewhere. So now I would say that here they are also 5 sense living beings that have been categorized in 4 ways: human beings, hellish beings, heavenly beings, and also these animal beings. So they have also different numbers. Now we would see that immobile living beings are also shown in different numbers as on the basis of their birthplaces, though they may be more in the particular number. So here you can say 700,000 are the earthly bodied living beings. Similarly, in the same number is water-bodied living beings, fire-bodied living beings, air-bodied living beings, and plants are said to be into the 2,400,000 in number. So these are the different birthplaces, or you can say species or families, which we find in all these different types of numbers. Now you would see that these all living beings have been also divided into two categories, which are especially the immobile living beings. So the two categories, the first is subtle and the other one is called Badar. So Badar means macro and subtle means micro. So these are of two types, micro and macro ones. So micro are unlimited. They are found in the entire cosmos, not only in our cosmos, but they are also found in our part, but they are also found in other parts. Even in the liberated place, you can also find this kind of living beings in the subtle form. So they are of all the 5 types, are earth, water, fire, and air. But and they are especially the living beings, the subtle living beings which are found in the form of plants, they are known as Nigoda. This is very primary state of living beings, very primary state. And there is infinite number of such subtle living beings in one body of Nigoda. So you can find that how much number of living beings are there in this universe. And Badar is macro living beings, so they are also found in the form of water, fire, air, etc., which we are using in our day-to-day life. So they come under the Badar category. And now we would see that all these living beings again divided, whether they are mobile or immobile, they are again divided into two categories. One is called incomplete and other one is called complete. It means those living beings who are taking birth in particular species or family or in particular form, whenever they take birth, they have to complete their physical body in two sense, and they should complete their physical systems. So it depends that what kind of living being or what kind of form of life they are taking, and in which how many physical systems they require to interact with or to do something in that particular form of life. So those physical systems have been discussed in Jain scripture in the form of paryaptis. So there are 6 types of such basic essential physical systems which everybody has to develop whenever he has to take birth in any form of life. So till they complete and start doing something, they are known as aparyapt or incomplete, and as soon as they complete, they become complete and paryapt. So we all are complete human beings because we have developed all our physical systems which are required for this to sustain in this life, and that's why we come under the category of paryapt. So I think I have taken almost 40 minutes for this discussion. Meanwhile, if somebody has any questions, they can ask so that it would not be boring to all of you, and everybody can ask if anything they want to know.
Bandhavinam Swami, air-bodied and water-bodied comes under sthavar, one-sensed and immovable. But
Yes.
Air and water is moving.
Correct. Good question. So in Jain scriptures, it is said that there are 2 types of moving bodies. One is natural and other one is by willing. So those who are recognized as mobile living beings, they are actually considered in the form of those living beings who are walking or moving by their own will. While these natural resources, water or fire, they are also looking that they are moving or spreading, but they are not moving by their own will. It is because of their natural tendency of body. They are moving like that. Okay, so they come under the gati thrust, and not real thrust. Okay, by motion you can say that they are thrust like that, but they are not really thrust. They come under the